action buttons are awesome, and today we're going to talk about automating them to control your smart home, among some other things, in some pretty creative ways. Now, if you don't have a device with an action button, don't worry, I've got something for you too. Be sure to stick around to the end for that. Let's go. Yo, what's up guys? My name is Shane, and this channel is all about building an easy Apple Home smart home with new videos and live streams published every week right here. So I recently got an iPhone 15 Pro as well as an Apple Watch Ultra 2. So now all of a sudden I have these cool little action buttons that I've never had before, both on my Apple Watch. This is the first Ultra that I've ever had, and of course as well on my iPhone 15 Pro. Now, if you're not familiar with the action button, the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max, the Apple Watch Ultra 1 and Ultra 2 all have this little button that you can essentially program to do a number of different things. Now, by default, the action button on the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max will just toggle silent mode on and off, but you can open up the settings and configure it to do a number of other things. So let's go ahead and jump right in to that. Here you'll see a new option called action button. So this is where you can configure different things. So by default, it's going to be right there. Silent mode will trigger silent mode on and off. You can change focus modes, any of the different focus modes. You can just press and hold to change to any focus mode that you select here. Oh, I skipped one. Here is the camera. So you can use the action button to toggle the camera, even selfie mode or video, portrait mode, different things you can specify right there. We have the flashlight. You can use the action button to toggle your flashlight. Voice memo, start a voice memo. Shortcuts, which we'll come back to in just a second, and accessibility, and here you can choose a number of accessibility features or settings to toggle with the action button. And lastly, you can set your action button to do nothing. And again, even if you don't have a device with an action button, I think this video is still going to provide some value because we are going to be talking about shortcuts a lot, and even some other ways you can trigger these shortcuts without an action button that would maybe be a good alternative to the action button. So should be a good lesson in shortcuts if nothing else. But first, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Netgear. Now, we're talking smart home stuff here today, and the foundation of every smart home should be a solid Wi-Fi network. Netgear has recently released the new Orbi 970 series, their first Wi-Fi 7 Orbi mesh Wi-Fi system. This thing is insane. It supports quad band technology with an enhanced dedicated backhaul, meaning you can get 360-degree Wi-Fi coverage up to 10,000 square feet across your entire home. Enjoy the fastest speeds available today and in the future thanks to a 10 gig internet port, a 10 gig Ethernet port, and 4 2.5 multi-gig Ethernet ports. Connect up to 200 devices to your network and easily create up to 3 separate networks, including one specifically for your IoT devices. So this is great if you're building a smart home, or great just for gaming or for streaming videos up to 8K. Whatever you want to do, you should be good to go with this. Check out the link in the description for more, and big thanks to Netgear for sponsoring today's video and supporting the channel. Now, if you have any experience with shortcuts, you probably already know how powerful this can be. Of course, when I saw this option right here, all I could think about was how many cool ways I could use this little action button to control my smart home. Now, in order to control your smart home accessories this way, your smart home devices will need to support Apple HomeKit. Again, my channel here is all about building a smart home with Apple Home, so be sure to subscribe if that's something you're into or would like to learn more about that. You can also become a channel member and get access to our private Discord, which gives you direct access to me and lots of other resources and just a nice community of folks who are also building an Apple Home smart home. In fact, we even have a channel on the Discord specifically for shortcuts. So there you go. All right, so the most basic shortcut here for our action button that we could set up would be something that just turns on or off a smart home accessory. For example, click the action button to turn on a light, or a smart home scene. So what I'm going to do is open up the Shortcuts app, and I'm just going to go ahead and create a new shortcut. So this will be, let's just say, turn on a smart home accessory. You can search for home, Here we go, control the state. I've got a few different smart homes set up through HomeKit, but Watley Resort is my main one. So we're gonna say control Watley Resort. It should be the name of your home there. And you can just choose your accessory. You can actually choose any of your scenes right here. So I can do studio lights off if I want. You can choose multiple accessories, but let's just choose, let's go to the studio and let's choose camera light 2. And right now it says turn on, let's turn it off. Okay, so we can change the name and stuff like that. Let's change this name to Home Shortcut. Done. All right, so again, that's the most basic version. Now we can configure our action button right here. Let's choose shortcut. And let's find our shortcuts, and I'm looking for that home shortcut right there. That's it. Now if I press and hold the action button, it will turn off my camera light 2. But that's it. We can do better than that. We can do something that would toggle it on and off. So now I'm kind of screwed. If I want to turn the light back on, at least I can't do it with my action button anymore. All right, so let's go ahead and fix that. Let's go back to our shortcut. We're just going to modify this a little bit. And the way you would do this, create a toggle, and this can be useful in so many different things other than just your action button. But we're going to use an if action first. So search for if, and we can actually just, yeah, we'll save that. We'll use that top one. Let's go ahead and pull it down here for now. Under if, you can choose input, and now you can select a home accessory right from here. So I'm going to select Watley Resort, select accessory. So we're looking for, again, that studio light. There we go, camera light 2. So if camera light 2 is on, then we can pull this one right here, up here. So you remember this right here says turn camera light 2 off. Okay, so if camera light 2 is on, turn it off. Now we want to do the opposite if it's not on. So otherwise, we want to turn it on. So actually a little trick here, if you didn't know, you can tap the icon in a shortcut and you can duplicate it. So I just duplicated that. Now I'll drag it down. And here, instead of off, we want to turn it on. Choose done. And again, our action button right here is configured to run that same shortcut. So I can click on this. You can see it up there, even shows your little icon. Boom. My action button now toggles a light on and off. Super cool. If actions are absolutely one of my favorites to use, and they really do allow you to make your shortcuts much more dynamic. As you just saw there, a very simple version. So let's take these action button shortcuts to the next level. First, we'll create a simple shortcut that gives you options, really. So this alone will give you so much more functionality out of your single action button. Maybe you have different smart home accessories or scenes that you would like to control, so we can actually see a menu and choose what we want to control. I can run other actions or even other shortcuts. Yes, that's right. So you can use a shortcut menu to run other shortcuts. So pretty powerful here. Let's go ahead and start doing some of this. So I'm going to create some that kind of control some of my different scenes and stuff like that first. So lockdown house is one of the scenes that I use a lot. We can make it even more fun by adding a little emoji here. We'll do one for my security system. It's the holiday season here. We got Halloween coming up. I actually have a fun little Halloween scene, so I'm going to add that here so I can easily access this whenever I want. So we add our Halloween scene in there. I have a record video scene. All right, so those are, I think, pretty much my scenes and accessories. Now I'm going to add a couple of other shortcuts in here that I've already set up that I can run right here from my menu. First up is a wake up intercom shortcut. So this is something that I can run. Just sends a little message to my daughter's room in the morning to make sure she wakes up on time. You know, maybe she has her alarm set, but sometimes she needs a little extra help. So this way I can just boom, quickly send this little intercom message to her HomePod. Wake up intercom message. I'll also have a dinner time. All right, now one last shortcut. This is one of my favorites. I set this up actually in an older video. Let's do my home status. So this shortcut actually gets my home status and if I can spell right, and gives me some options and things like that. Checks my doors and makes sure my doors are locked and stuff like that. Okay, so these are all my options. Right now, they're not doing anything, but you can see my menu is here. Now I have to create the actions for each one, but let's just show you real quick what that would look like if I do a test run. You're presented with this menu here. It looks really cool with my emojis and everything, but again, none of these will do anything because they're not set to anything yet. So let's fix that, and we're gonna look for our home actions again. All right, again, we're gonna go Control Watley Resort and Scenes and Accessories. I am looking for my lockdown house. So that's a scene that I have created that will go under this one. Armed security system, Control Watley Resort. This one is actually, I don't have a scene created for this one, so I'm just going to look for my security system. Where is it? Here we go. Should be this one. And I'm just going to arm this for home. That's the one that I use most. Set security system right there. So now you see how this kind of works. If I choose lockdown house, it'll run this. If I choose armed security system, it'll do that one. All right, now wake up intercom message. So these are our shortcuts. So these are a little different here. So let's here look for shortcut. You can just type in shortcuts and you'll see this one action right here, run shortcut. So this will allow you to run a separate shortcut. And you can choose, of course, any of your shortcuts. So I am looking for intercom message. Okay, dinner time intercom right there. So that'll send an intercom message to all the HomePods. It just says dinner is ready. And this one here will run our home status. There we go. Boom. Done. All right, so that's it. Now we can click on this. What would you like to do? I can choose any of my scenes right here and it'll run those. Let's choose home status. That is another shortcut. Allow home shortcut to run another shortcut. You'll just have to do this the first time you run it. After that, it'll do it automatically. I'll choose allow, and then it's going to run that shortcut. And it says the back door is unlocked or jammed. This is part of my home status. It checks the doors and locks and the security system and gives me some more options for things I can do right there. All right, so again, let's go back to our settings and our action button. Choose shortcut right here. And we can select that shortcut that we just created. Again, it's that home shortcut. So now I can close out of this. I can be anywhere in my phone, tap and hold that action button. And we are presented with our menu here. You can be anywhere on your phone in any app, and this will work. I can run any of my scenes. I can do an intercom message. Let's hit the intercom message. It's going to send that intercom shortcut to my daughter's room.
Good morning, Macy. Good morning, Macy. It's time to get up and get ready.
Oh, there you go. It's running it on all the HomePods, apparently.
It's gonna be a great day.
So there you go. So that works. Works great. Again, anytime, press and hold, action button, boom. You have all these shortcuts, and I'm controlling my home with all these lockdown the house, arm my security system, my Halloween scene. So this is a great way to quickly access your favorite scenes throughout the day. Now, there is also something else I want to mention that's pretty neat and quite similar to that. This might be a better option for you just depending on what you're trying to do, how comfortable you are with shortcuts and all that. But when you configure your action button, you can also choose a shortcuts folder instead of a specific shortcut. So if you do this when you use the action button, you'll get a really nice looking menu showing your first 7 shortcuts in a specific folder. Okay, so now instead of choosing a specific shortcut, I'll just tap show folder. And here you can choose any of the folders that you've created in the Shortcuts app, and it will display the first 7 shortcuts that you can easily choose. Now, my choose from menu had more than 7, so that's really why you would want to do that. Plus, there's some other things we'll get into which may make you want to do it that way versus this way. But just to show 7 shortcuts in a really nice way, this is a good option here. I'll choose my HomeKit folder. There we go. So it shows HomeKit. Let me just show you what that looks like real quick. Again, I think it looks really nice. So if I hold my action button, you get this really nice little menu, and you can see my first 7 shortcuts here with the nice little icon and everything. My wake up intercom. So it kind of accomplishes the same thing. Again, I can only do 7. If I want to tap that, I can open up all my shortcuts. It'll open up the Shortcuts app. But this is a really nice little way if you just want to show 7, of your favorite shortcuts, just add them to a folder and show the folder this way. All right, so next we're gonna go a little bit further. Bear with me, this is really powerful here and not too hard to set up. So what I want you to do is start thinking about using things as conditions for your shortcut. So a condition can be anything from the current location, the time of day, your current focus mode on your phone or devices, or even the orientation of your phone. So this will allow you to make even more dynamic shortcuts for your action buttons. For example, our latest shortcut that presented us with the menu that we just made, that's awesome, but I really only need to use that if I'm at home. Like, I don't need to control my smart home stuff when I'm away from home, at least not that way. So I could easily wrap all that up in an if statement first and say, if my current location is at home, then present me with that menu that we just created. Otherwise, I can have it do something totally different. This way I could utilize the same action button and run an entirely different shortcut when I'm away from home. So that same button can do multiple things based on where I'm at. You can use an if action that says, if the current time is before noon, present me with menu 1. Otherwise, present me with menu 2. See how conditions can just really make your shortcuts and therefore your action button even more dynamic based on a number of different variables. So let's put this into action with my Apple Watch. This is exciting for me. Again, I am new to the Apple Watch Ultra, so I was pretty excited to have this new little action button that I can program on my watch. And I have been having some fun with this, so let me show you some of the stuff that I have been doing with mine. One pain point for me lately has been my garage door. So I don't have CarPlay in my truck, unfortunately, so I can't use that. So what I would like to do is use the action button on my Apple Watch to open or close the garage. This way, a simple press of the action button when I'm pulling up to the driveway or something, or leaving the house, will open or close my garage door. But I also want to use the action button for other things when I'm not driving. So I'm gonna make a shortcut that will first get my current focus mode, then if my devices are currently in the driving focus mode, which means I'm in the truck driving, it will open or close the garage door. This is perfect because I won't be using the action button while I'm driving for anything else, and that still leaves me open to configure it to do anything else any other time of day. So you can do the same thing for each focus mode if you want. Let's go ahead and start with that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up the Shortcuts app and let's just create a new one. And I've been creating and working on one similar to this, but I'm gonna do one just for a demo, a new one. I'm gonna rename it Apple Watch Action Demo. All right, so first action is going to be get my current focus mode. Type in focus, get current focus. There we go. Next, we're going to do an if action, if, and it automatically will pull that from the previous action. So if current focus, here you need to change this right here to, instead of focus, change it to name. So if the name of the current focus contains driving. Now, if it contains that, we can set it to do things. So I don't normally like to embed a bunch of if statements within each other, but here and there, it's okay if you do it a little bit. So I'm going to do another if action. This is going to be a toggle, just like we did earlier, to toggle the garage door open or close. So I'm going to pull this under here. So if select a home accessory, I'm going to look for my, Watley Resort. I am going to look for my garage door. There we go. If the garage door, current door state is closed, I want to open it, so we'll look for home, control Watley Resort, and let's control that home garage door. We want to open it. All right, now otherwise we want to close it, so I'm just going to duplicate that last one, pull it down here, close, done. Okay, so now this shortcut's going to check my current focus mode. If it's driving, then it's going to open or close the garage door based on what it currently is. All right, so that's awesome. But again, this just happens when I push the action button. I'll set this on my watch but you can do it on your phone too. So this will only run if I'm currently driving. So I'm going to take this a little bit further. Now, shortcuts are great for things that you do often. And every day when I go to the gym, I have to start a new workout on my watch, select my music, pair my AirPods to the watch so that I don't, have to take my phone with me the whole time, and open the Planet Fitness app so I can scan my barcode when I walk in the door. So I'm going to add all of that to this same shortcut that also controlled the garage door if I'm driving. Now this time I'm going to use my location as a condition. So it'll do all these things as long as I press the action button when I'm at the gym and not driving. Again, because remember, if I'm driving, it'll open the garage door, which I don't want. So all I have to do is go to the gym, get out, put in my AirPods, push the action button, and it's going to do all those things for me without me having to do anything else. It'll only happen at the gym. So I can still use the action button for other things when I'm somewhere else or at different times of day. You get the idea. So let's go ahead and do that. First, we want to get our current location. So we're going to say, look for location, get current location. Now, nearest 100 meters will be fine. Now we're going to look for if. You see, I love these if actions. They're so powerful. If, it automatically gets that last, that location right there. So if my current location, we need to change this also to street. So we want to get the street from that current location. So if the street contains, and here's where you would put the name of the street for your gym. In my case, I'm just going to give you an example here, XYZ street. All right, so if the street name contains that, now I can set my actions that I want to happen. First, I'm going to set the playback destination. You can look for playback, should show that. So let's see, change playback destination. So I'm going to move this under here. So set playback destination to Shane's AirPods Pro Gen 2. There we go. All right, so set playback destination to my AirPods. Perfect. Next, I want to start a strength training workout. So start a workout. Pull this under here. Functional strength training, that's usually what I start with at the gym. Open goal is fine. Next, we're going to open the Planet Fitness app. Open app. This will open any app. Just be sure if you're running this on your Apple Watch, you need to have the app on there. So, and I do for this one, Planet Fitness. Boom. And that's it. I also have it set so when I start a workout, it will automatically start a playlist on my Apple Watch. So the music will start, and since the AirPods will be connected, I'll be good to go. So that's it. Now, if I run this shortcut, it's going to get my current focus mode. If I'm driving, it'll open or close my garage door. And if I am at this specific location, it will do this set of things, right? And I want to pair this to my Apple Watch action button this time. So we can test this out. Let's go ahead and test it. Shouldn't do anything right now because I'm not driving and I am not at this XYZ location. So let's go ahead and put on my driving mode, and let's see, I'll change this to driving. And now you're going to see it actually open my garage door. I hear my garage door opening right now. So garage door was open. I can press it again, and I can hear the garage door closing this time. So the toggle works if I'm in driving focus mode. So what I'm going to do real quick, just for testing, this is something you can do with your testing, where it says get the street. If you're testing this, you can put your current street address. So I'm going to add my street name right here just for testing. And then once I'm done and I know it works, I'll change this to be the street location for my gym. Okay, so chat done. So that's Apple Watch action demo. Let's go to our Apple Watch settings, and I am looking for that action button right there. You can see I do have mine set to run this action button shortcut, which is something I've been using, like I said, but we did our demo here, and just to show you that that one works. Oh, one thing I forgot. You've got to make sure it shows on the Apple Watch if you want to run this on the Apple Watch. So details and show on Apple Watch. That's important if you want to set this on your Apple Watch's action button. So let's try that again. All right, here we go. Apple Watch action demo. Okay, tap that. There we go. And I have hold to turn on for this one, so I don't accidentally run it. All right, so now let's test it out. I'm going to pretend I'm getting to the gym. I'll put my AirPods in. You can see the AirPods are connected to my iPhone right now. Now let's test this out on the Apple Watch. Running that shortcut. I hear my AirPods connected to the watch. It opened up the Planet Fitness app so I can scan my barcode. And we can see it started a workout. Perfect. And again, this will only run when I'm at the gym. So I can use that action button. It'll only happen at the gym, and then I can use that, program it to do other things at numerous other points throughout the day based on time, location, whatever. So real quick, in summary, if I press the action button on my Apple Watch while I'm in driving focus mode, it will open or close my garage door. Perfect, since I don't have CarPlay. But if I press it when I'm at the gym, it will do all those other things that I just showed you directly on my Apple Watch. And that's just two parts of this that you can use to get started. Add other conditions for other locations, other focus modes, time of day, etc., making this a truly dynamic action button. Now, action button alternatives. At the beginning I said if you don't have an action button, there are some other alternatives that you might want to consider that can also be utilized with any of these shortcuts that we created here today. First up, you can simply add any shortcut to your home screen on your iPhone so you can quickly run it from there. So let me just show you how to do that. So if we go just like that last one there, if I long press that and tap on details, when I showed you that show on Apple Watch, some other options you have here, pin to menu bar. So this is for your Mac, so you can pin these on a Mac. You can add to home screen right here, and you can choose and change the title and the little icon that will show on your home screen. So this will be displayed right there on your home screen like it's another app on your iPhone. And you can also add shortcuts via widgets to your home screens or your lock screen. Adding a shortcut like this to your lock screen is almost as handy as using an action button, in my opinion. Same thing on the Apple Watch. You can add complications that can run any shortcut right there from your wrist. Now there is one other option that you may or may not have heard about that allows you to double or triple tap the back of your iPhone to run any shortcut. Let me show you how to do that real quick. Just go into your settings, go to accessibility, go to touch, and then down here you see back tap. This is where you can choose this. So I have it on, and you can choose double tap and triple tap. I have found that I accidentally trigger double tap a lot more often than the triple tap, so that's why I don't use double tap. But for triple tap, you can do any of these accessibility options here or features, but the one that we're looking for here today is shortcuts right there. So you can see there's a whole list of all of our shortcuts, so you can choose the triple tap to do any of those things. Let's do my home status that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier today. All right, there we go. Now if I triple tap the back of my phone, it'll run that. You see it's running. Boom, the back door is unlocked or jammed. It ran my shortcut just like that by triple tapping. So it's kind of like having a little built-in invisible action button right there on your phone. This is really just scratching the surface of Siri shortcuts. They are so powerful and really work best, in my opinion, if you can figure out a way to utilize them for your daily habits, things that you do every day. Running them with the action buttons are so handy. I love this. There are some insane shortcuts out there built by people way smarter than me. You can actually download a lot of these that are built by other people. It's a great way to get started, if you just want to tinker around. I'll put some links and resources down below in the description where you can do just that, download other people's shortcuts and kind of get started playing around, seeing how they're built and stuff like that. It's a great way to learn, I think. If you want to dive a little bit deeper, but still keep things pretty simple, right here is a video where I showed my favorite methods of using shortcuts with my home automations. It covers a few of the most common shortcut actions that I use all the time, specifically with controlling controlling my home and stuff like that in shortcuts. And that includes the if action that we used quite a bit here today. Thanks to Netgear for sponsoring today's video. Check out that insane new Orbi Wi-Fi 7 mesh system. I'll put a link to that below. Thanks so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next one.